Hey, I'll pull the sword out the border, walk a floor full of cobras. Go to war with you all, we can brawl toe to toe. I can tighten loops in my lace and make lightning lose in a race. I make fire cool and come back from the triangle in Bermuda. I can suit up, live in the moon up, working and outsmarting computers. I can outswim all the tuna, and that's without a scuba. So in the laws of nature, I'm breaking the rules. Only thing I'm bad at is being a loser. I can make time traveling a surprise, make graveyards feel alive, break the immortal down to his demise. Look up and beam to the stars so you can turn off the lights.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Acrisure Stadium on the north shore of the Steel City, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Today we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. Up to midfield. 30. 10. He will take this all the way. Touchdown, Steelers. So a heck of a start to this one. We haven't even gotten settled in already in the end zone on the opening kickoff.
And you know what happens, too? Now you got to translate what that means, because I think for a team to just score, their defense, I think they'll be more aggressive now. They'll be bolder. They're playing with a lead and an early one and some momentum. So if you're the offensive coordinator on the other side of the field, you'd better be prepared for some heavy pressure coming your way. They're going to try and get another big score and a big one early.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now it's Jackson. And the Steeler pressured too much here. He's going down. T.J. Watt, that is one he will remember. It's sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Looking to throw. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this will be gathered up in the end zone, and that's a defensive touchdown. Once that ball was loose, the question was, would this be 2 or would it be 6? It's 6. The defense able to pounce on it.
And for the offense, the training didn't really kick in, did it? Once that ball comes loose, you've got to get on it, make sure that you recover it, or make sure you punch it out of the end zone. Anything but give it to the defense to score a touchdown.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they come in losers of 2 straight. And remember, they've got the open date on their calendar next weekend. But we think it's vitally important, Charles, that they focus on the task at hand here.
Absolutely, because these players, they know what's coming up. And the difference between taking time off following a win versus doing so on a 3-game losing streak, that's absolutely huge, because they may come back if they lose this game to a facility, and there may be new faces in there and some teammates lost.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. And his throw here is incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, it's Walker. And he's across the 43 extra yards to the 43. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. This defense for the Steelers, they were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolute phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
On 3rd down, here's Walker. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Now Jackson. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there. And now 4th down. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. Tucker's kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Washington. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
So, Charles, you look at this offense. What a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. When do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that thought to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not quite at this time, because if we look at the Steelers in 2020, they're a great example. Remember, they started 11-0, then lost 5 of 6 and went out in the first round. But I think if you get toward mid-November, the Thanksgiving time frame, and you're still doing this, that's when things start to get real for a ball club.
And he's got some space here. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there.
With his 6th rushing touchdown on the year,
as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead is up to 18 now. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
From the 27, Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end, Andrews. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain there of 21 yards. Walker now on 1st and 10. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Jackson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick.
And the Steelers will take over here just shy of the 30. So problems with errant passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week and now another here in this first quarter.
And sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and you can't do it all on one throw.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. He'll look to throw. Complete to Washington. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football. They'll look to throw here on 1st down.
And he'll get it right back to Washington.
It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll make it second down.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. Second and 5. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 33. 19 yards the pickup there. Move the chains. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Malik Harrison on the tackle.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's second and 9, just a yard on that last run. He'll drop to throw. To the right side and complete to Washington. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Back to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on second and goal? Now they try the right side here. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's 3rd and goal. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. So they'll get nothing out of that play. And that's going to make it 4th down. Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. From the right hash, and this one just a chipping. Boswell's kick is good. And the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's 24-3. Well, they got the turnover and were able to drive it down, Charles, but ultimately in the end, the defense holds up, and they only come away with the 3 points.
Yeah, they gave up a lot of ground, but when they had to, they settled in and prevented the interception from leading to 6 points. Because you never want to see turnovers turn into any type of points against you, but better to give up 3 than 6.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
The partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Throwing is Jackson.
That's caught by Gabriel Davis. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. He sets to fire deep.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Steelers will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
They'll start in excellent field position following the INT.
They'll start this drive out on the ground and give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.